small presentation to share here on the efforts that the organization is making. But actually, as Uma rightly said, hopefully this should inspire you to customize it towards your own environment, because there's nothing here which can't be replicated in any other industry. Now, let me give you a little bit of insight about what I'm trying to do here. If you look at the statistics as of 15-16, I mean, if you look at the top 10 sectors and their requirement, we're looking at 109.73 million skilled people, okay, in our country. That's the magnitude of what we're talking about. And this is across building, construction, so I happen to work there, retail, transportation, logistics, beauty, wellness, furniture, tourism, etc., etc. This is a very huge requirement that we have. And then if you look at, the spread in the states, okay, as you can see here very clearly, and this is something which is a projection from 2012 to 2022. So many of these states, the largest 5 have the maximum requirement over there, the ones that you see in blue. Okay, so that's again a huge requirement in these states that we have, and that also includes Telangana and Andhra Pradesh that you see. So really, what is that issue at hand that we're talking about? Yeah, 10 to 12 million people added to the workforce per annum, and the big question in front of all of us, I think, is how to skill them, because the job market requires a very different set of skills from everyone. So really, how do we address this problem? Now, any industry that I have worked in, and Umar just talked about the various industries I worked, every industry I think I've had the same issue that, we don't have enough people. We don't seem to have the right kind of people available to man the positions or pipeline and things like that. So every company worth its salt today, I'm sure people sitting on the dais would acknowledge that, is working on how to create a pipeline within the organization to meet the demand, okay? Now, I'm talking of the mother of all industries, which is the auto industry, okay? And the reason they call it the mother of all industries is because there's so many ancillary units of auto that it has a cascading effect on so many SMEs, right? So iron, steel, services, logistics, chemicals, machine tools, everybody gets touched by this industry. Okay, and what we are trying to say here is this is a sector that's going to contribute 7.1% of the total GDP. Okay, and 26% of the industrial GDP. Now this statistic could be true of other big industries as well. And it provides direct and indirect employment to about 32 million people as of 2016. And the expectation from this industry is only going to get bigger to generate something like USD 300 billion revenue, okay, which is 12% of the GDP. Now, are we really ready? Even in today's state of readiness, let me tell you, we are struggling. We don't have enough people. Okay, and I'm going to share with you what is it that we try to do within this industry. So, if you look at the auto manufacturers today, tractors, we're the largest manufacturer, two-wheelers, second largest, bus, second largest, heavy trucks, 5th largest, cars, 6th largest, and then commercial vehicles, 8th largest manufacturing. So, we are poised to become the 3rd largest automobile industry in the world. Okay, and I'm saying, companies like mine are getting into that space. We are into the commercial vehicle manufacturing. We're the 4th largest bus manufacturer, 7 manufacturing plants. We aim to become number 1 in the medium and heavy vehicle industry. We have plants outside of India, UK, etc. So let's talk about what did we do, to address this in a small way within our own environment, and also actually contributed back to the society. So we forged a few unique partnerships, and I'm just going to talk about that. What is the model that we picked up? About 4 or 5 things that we tried to do, and it seems to be working, and that could be food for thought for all of you. We've created a very good connect between education institutions and ourselves, because we know that we can get people only from them. And we tried a few models, which is earn and learn. So we got people in, and I'm going to explain in more details, young people into this program and help them to learn and earn as well, because they come from very lower strata of the society. Joint skill development that we went into, ITI tie-ups, driver training institutes, because our backbone are the drivers. So we have to invest heavily in them, and of course the various other training centers. So these were the pillars on which we built our model. We have several driver training institutes, and I've circled the one in Telangana, which is coming up because this is a very important region for us to develop further, and we are also in consultation for a few more in this region. So what's unique about this? This is run by Ashok Leyland and society employees. Over 9 lakh drivers have been trained since inception. The capacity is to train about 25,000 drivers per annum. And it actually helps our dealers, customers, and of course society at large, right? It's a great model for others because there's a lot of discipline in the way we drive this, and we just don't look at driving as a skill. We give a holistic experience, and you will see how. So there's a classroom stuff happening there. There's a driving range which is provided for them to experiment and play around with all kinds of tracks over there. There's a hostel facility for folks to stay there. You have detailed technical training given for understanding the vehicle. Cut section modules have been displayed everywhere so that people, when they walk into the facility, they're always looking at the product and understanding how to deal with it. We have training vehicles, training on wheels. They go to different parts of the interiors of places to give that training. We also help them to free up their mind, yoga sessions, library, and things like that. So basically, the point that I'm trying to drive here is you will not get skill readily available in the market. You need to do a lot of things to actually create that ecosystem for things to happen. And that's a huge investment which organizations and the government has to make in this. We went on into a few other models. So the Earn and Learn Center I talked about, the mobile training vans, service training schools, and joint skill development. And what did we do so far? We've trained 1,300, youngsters through the Earn and Learn centers, and about 1,000 people in the joint skill development center along with the government and educational institutions. This is the knowledge on wheel. We understand everybody can't walk up to the classroom and learn, but all the same, it's a good way of making them learn. You have to get into one of this vehicle to understand how it is. It's got chairs inside. It's got a TV monitor inside. It's got all the cut sections, miniatures inside. It's a complete classroom by itself, and the beauty is it moves, right? So you're able to give training to a lot of people. I especially want to talk about this blessing scheme, and we're very proud of this. We started this in Uttarakhand. I don't see any reason why this cannot happen in any other state for that matter. And for us also, it's been a model that we are working on to build in other places. Ashirwad scheme, or blessing scheme as we call that, it's a collaborative initiative between industry, state government, and the Technical Institute, NTTF. That building that you see is the training institute that we have put up in our Pantnagar factory. A beautiful state-of-the-art training center in a plot which is about 230 plus acres, which has every facility over there. Again, the point to note is we need to invest to make things happen, or learn to tie up with people who can make that investment happen for us. Okay. Now, what was the objective of this? I mean, there are so many steps in this that you see there, but at the end, what we are trying to do is creating a pool of people who have the skills that is required for your industry, bridge the gap between unemployment and employability, and provide skills which are just not technical, but also behavioral and attitudinal, so that you make a complete individual. And we don't train people only for Ashok Leyland. These people can actually work anywhere. They're free to work anywhere, and other industries around have actually absorbed some of these people. Bright people, but financially very weak, and you have to visit there to see what has happened for their life after going through this. So basically, it's the Earn While You Learn program, and I'll tell you how it works. All the students are from sons of the soil or daughters of the soil, as it were. It is approved by the government, and the target age group that you see is 18 to 25 years. Now, 25 may seem on the higher side for you, but you need to understand in these areas, education hasn't been as rampant as in an urban area, and therefore they're very much in the employable situation. They're supported by state government and approved by EXE, this whole curriculum. And we are very consciously trying to bring gender parity into it. 30% of the intake are girls. and what smart girls they are, I can tell you. You have to interact with them to understand. Yeah? Currently, we are at 16%. We hope to get there. We will definitely get there. Yeah? Now, how does it work? There is a very rigorous selection process we put. When I say rigorous, rigorous in terms of the level at which they are. It's not like an IIT exam or an IIM exam, so don't confuse there. But I think it's fairly tough for people who are at that level to get in. So look at the things that we look at, the finger dexterity test, the neuromuscular test, psychodiagnostic test. These are all required when you work in the auto industry. And all these people go through these variety of tests and group tasks before they get selected. And these are young kids, you know. I mean, if you go and look at them, their annual income in the family would be something like 3,000 to 5,000 or 6,000 rupees. There would be about 5 to 6 members in that family. And this person is actually sent out to get into this program. I'm not sure if you can see that very well, but the blue box talks about the technical training and culture build that we talked about. That's about 8 semesters. Then we have classroom training, practical training, and then you know, the immediate test theory that happens, then practical tests, and then there is a semester exam, and finally there's a certification. So the milestone is achieved when the certificate in manufacturing technology is given to them in 2 years, that is 4 semesters. Or they could get a diploma in manufacturing technology if they study for 4 years and 8 semesters. Now, what's important for us to know is we've trained about 900 plus, and we're still going strong. I mean, we never stop hiring year on year, okay? As we speak today, 101 people are in the pipeline to be absorbed into this. Why do we feel happy about this scheme? And we are encouraged. Look at what we do for these children, yeah? There's completely subsidized food. They don't have to pay anything. They get all the clothes, safety shoes. This is complete investment by the company, not even government, right? There's a subsidized stay for girl students in the girls' hostel. And I invite some of you who may want to visit to come and see the place. It's a beautiful hostel, completely secure. Even the managing director cannot step in if he doesn't have other women with him. Yeah, that's as secure as it is. The girls wanted to have a playground. So we thought it's for basketball or something. They actually wanted a football ground. So we actually built a football ground for the girls there. Very good educational facilities, conveyance given to people who are staying outside, the boys. They come and go inside, domiciliary, medical. I mean, everything is taken care of, in short. And exceptionally good sports facilities. In fact, some of them went to Kuala Lumpur last time to represent the Manufacturing Excellence Program, and they keep going to other places. So, what I'm trying to say is, you know, this is an experiment that we've done in our organization. I don't think it prevents any of you to try this in your own way within your own organization. And to re-emphasize the point that it's not a one-way street at all. Building skill, you can keep complaining till the cows come home about lack of skills, but the question really is, what are you willing to put in to get something back? And that's really very important for us. We've made this. Now, let me tell you, there is a flip side to some of these programs, and that's something that you should know as well. Not all students get through the gate. Not all students are exceptionally good. Not all of these students are willing to travel across the country. We do have those kind of issues. But the point is, you know, why do you want to force a situation which is not working for you? If somebody is comfortable to stay in the north, we're more than happy to keep them there and actually start another model in the south, maybe in the west, and now we're working in the east, you know, looking at institutions which can help us. Now, not all organizations may be wanting to invest this kind of money, which is fine. Can you find partners who are willing to do that? The people like Sujeev, the people like NSDC, I'm sure, you know, we will be able to find some helping hands there who can do that. Can we as a consortium of industries get together and do something? What prevents us from doing that? We have this lake near Hosur, Uma, I have to tell you this. It's pretty dirty and everybody complains saying that, you know, it looks very dirty, it's stench, there's a stench. We picked up 5 companies around and said, let's go and get this cleaned up over there. So what does it take for us to really collaborate and make things happen? We owe it to our youngsters. We owe it to the future of this country and, you know, all the people who are behind us to enjoy something that we put together. After all, we enjoyed what our seniors did, right, some time back. So I think, I feel very emotional about this scheme because it's a fabulous scheme. It's worked for us. And we feel that we're giving something back to society, but more than anything, building the pipeline for the future. So that's from me. Thank you.